Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody, as we're coming on in the house, knocking on the door, coming on in. Happy to meet up. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to the Daily Dish. We're getting started here in a little over 4 minutes. If you're coming into the replay and you're clicking on this and you're watching it, please leave a like and then fast forward 4 minutes. We're going to be talking about fun, haunty things today. Because, it's July, so we should all prepare for Halloween, right? Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Welcome to the Daily Dish. We will be starting a little over 3 minutes. Welcome, foolish mortals, to the not-so-scary Haunted Mansion. Good morning, Dan. Uh-oh, I can only hear one ear. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
3, 2, 1, live. Cool.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back, Fun Fam. And if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to Follow the Bradley's Fun. I am trying something a little bit different today for today's Daily Dish. I hope wherever anyone is, wherever you are out there, you're having a phenomenal day. Speaking of the day, today is the 17th day of the month of July of the year 2024. And I'm trying this new thing. It's actually a little bit weird because I'm trying using just my webcam on my computer today. I wanted to see how the picture is coming in because I was kind of forced to use it on a show the other day. Oh, look at this. This is like too much shows in the background now. Where's that jacket coming from? Okay, there it is. Yeah. So, but I wanted to check. Is this? Let's see. I'm going to see who all is here in just a moment. But I did notice I've got a member chat from a high priority member and a Greco. Where is it? There it is. Is this opening clip from an actual movie that Ron was in? Okay, so just so you know, I don't think I have any clips of the movie that I was in, but the very start of that opening is from a commercial that I did for the MGM Grand Adventures theme park in Las Vegas, Nevada, in the year 2000. So before they built the Signature Towers, where the Signature Towers are standing today at the MGM, was a theme park. Yes, they had a small theme park. It grew during the 90s when Las Vegas was trying to do their whole, we're trying to become family friendly thing. So the MGM built a park called the MGM Grand Adventures theme park at the MGM Resort, and they had the Skyscreamer ride. The physical ride itself is now located here in Orlando, which is kind of funny. I just saw it the other day. It is at the Fun Spot here in Orlando because the MGM Grand Adventures theme park kind of went defunct and closed down in Las Vegas in 2000 at the end of the 2002 season. And so in 2003, they were selling off their rides and such. And the Skyscreamer ride that I was on in that commercial was sold to Fun Spot here in Orlando and moved out here. And it's kind of weird. I didn't know it was here when I got here. I was pointed out to me by another YouTube video expedition theme park, who I keep trying to meet up with because I know he lives here now. And he's dating a girl named Super Enthused. Well, that's not her name. Her name's Jackie, but Super Enthused is her channel. And so hopefully we end up running into each other at the parks at some point in time. But yeah, it's kind of a funny thing. So let's see who else in the house here. Going Shogi says, yeah, the MGM theme park was really cool. It was small but cool. It was. I actually really liked it. But of course, it makes sense what they did financially for that company because I'm sure the theme park was losing them money. And instead they built two very high Signature Towers there where it's, I don't know how many hundreds of dollars it is to spend the night in those Signature Towers, but I know it's quite a bit. And because of that, I'm sure they're making a whole lot more money with the Signature Towers. So we're going to start and let's see who all is in his house today. Starting with my mom. Good morning, Mom. Kathleen Fantasia is here. And the Bud File Sue is here. She says, good morning, people. And we are hanging out. What did I write? I wrote goof morning all. I meant good. I didn't mean goof. If it was a goof morning, I'd be talking like this the whole time. Gosh. Hey, everybody. Have a goof morning. Sound like Chevy Chase. Hanging out with Erica and Raph on the Skyliner. Yeah, you're on the Skyliner membership, so that's a great level right there. Dan's Life at the Kingdom says, welcome, foolish mortals, to the not-so-scary Haunted Mansion. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. That is where we are going this morning. And Going Shogi, boy, these guys, great supporters, and I just big shout out. Love you guys. Love seeing you in the house. Thank you for coming in and supporting the channel. By the way, guys, as you're coming in here to support the channel, hit the like button, obviously. But if you want to share this out on any of your social medias, feel free to share this out there, get the word out, let people know that we are going live, flowing right into Culture Casino afterwards, flowing right into whatever's on that Park Place or Mr. H or who knows? It's all good information that you guys need. And I also want you to let me know in the chat. What do you think of the picture? Is it still coming in clear for you, even though I'm just using webcam? Normally, I would use my phone as a webcam, but I'm trying it this way because that way the phone is not interrupting the signal, and maybe that makes for a better stream. OCDD93 says, good morning, OCDD93. And let's see, Greco went through some of these others. Yes. And we're back down to the current chat. And with that, we are going to let you know. Again, we are, every time I hit this, the picture goes a little bit because the keyboard and my camera happen to be attached today. Let's see. So we're going to put this up here. We are doing this little thing, fundraiser, to try and get the StreamYard logo. Where is that? Can you see it over here? Where am I pointing to it? I got to look on. I don't know. Hey, look! It looks like my finger's pointing to it. Okay, so we want to get that off. We want to have a better quality stream for you guys because we're getting out the best information we can, the best way we can, and in order to do that the best that we can, I need to upgrade the StreamYard, and that costs a little bit of money. I don't love that fact, but it is what it is. So we appreciate any funding that you want to give us. You certainly not expected whatsoever, just greatly appreciated when it happens. So thank you so much for your generosity, especially. Wow. After I'll tell you about that in a second, Anna. So just thank you for so much for being here and supporting this and all these efforts, because what I'm trying to do is get to the point where I'm actually able to do vlogs and the show as well. And trying to do it all, it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of funding to get all this stuff out as well. So we are doing our best. Good and clear. Anna says that's perfect. Now, Anna says this. Well, that's amazing. Thank you. Thought it was a movie clip since Jonathan Taylor Thomas was in it. Well, some sad news. That's not Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Everyone at the time thought that it was Jonathan Taylor Thomas. So, but it's not. It's not at all. I can show you guys without using any audio a movie clip that I am in, if you are interested in seeing that before we get to the main topic here. Let's see, what is OC? Taking my brother to Disney for the first time in September, getting ready to make reservations. Do you recommend Woody's Roundup Barbecue? Let me take my notifications off. Sorry. Let's get rid of that. Do not disturb. Okay. Do I recommend Woody's Roundup Barbecue? Here's what I can tell you about Woody's Roundup Barbecue. If you are, why did this come up? Sorry. It's always frustrating to me when, why is this floating? Remove. Sorry, I had something on my phone I've never seen happen before. Maybe there was an update or something. I'm like, why is it doing that? Don't do that. Go back to where I am. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say about Woody's. I've never eaten at Woody's. Woody's is quite expensive. There's no characters there. These servers are supposed to be toys, and you're supposed to be toys, and you're supposed to act like a toy if you are there. So, all I can tell you is that if you go, you need to ask for the server whose name is Sean. Say, is Sean working today? He's got a blonde beard. He's a great friend of mine. He works there. He would give you excellent service. He's fantastic. Other than that, I've heard good and bad things about it. So I think it's just a matter of opinion on who's going to like it or who's going to not like it, to be honest with you. Yes, Everyone thinks that is Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and it is not. So I have never worked with Jonathan Taylor Thomas because at that point in time when we did that commercial in 2000, even though that kid looks just like a young Jonathan Taylor Thomas, it's not him. Jonathan Taylor Thomas was actually several years older than that kid at the time. Let me see here. And yes, definitely a doppelganger. Who I have, in fact, actually worked with was Dean Cain. And if I can bring it up, I will show you the scene that Dean and I are in together. I actually have a fairly prominent role in the movie called Not for Sale, Florida. And I'm going to try and see if I can bring that up and share it with you guys. Let me look over here and see if I can find it real quick. I'm looking at my own screen and it shows me as frozen. This is what happens when I go try and look something else up. All right, so we're going to pause this here. And we're going to see if I can actually bring this up. No audio. Let's see. I'm just trying to. I found the movie to the part that I'm in with Dean on the same screen. Uh-oh, what happened? Sorry, that was a commercial interruption. It's like Perry the Platypus. Okay. It's I'm working on finding the exact spot because it's only an hour-long movie. It's not a particularly long movie. But that means trying to find the spot that I'm in is a bit of a challenge. I mean, I don't know. I found the spot that I'm. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, so we're going to share this. Then how do I switch tabs? There we go. All right, so let's bring this up, okay? So there's the movie right there. And here is the tab. Let me go full screen, see if I can show it to you guys. And you can see Dean Cain on the screen there. So in this last scene, Dean had come in. There I am. And there's me on the screen. And I'm in the pink shirt. Dean's in front of me right there. Go to this other scene. I'm right behind him. And there we are. We're sharing the scene. I don't actually have any lines in this particular scene while he's on the screen. I actually do have lines in the scene later on, but there we are. So this is the movie I'm in. It's called Not for Sale, Florida. You can find it right here on the Tubes of the U for free. So there you go. Let's see. Pause this right here. And I'll probably be talking a little bit more about that in a future episode here. There we go. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Okay, so let's see what here. Go and Shogi says it was our favorite restaurant that we ate at. That's going back to the Woody's Lunchbox restaurant. Woody's Lunchbox. And I'm assuming you're talking about the sit-down one and not the quick service. Because I can't, sometimes I forget. There's the barbecue sit-down one that's expensive. And then there's the quick service that just has like toasted cheese and tater tots and stuff. And the reason I've never eaten at that one is because honestly, at Hollywood Studios, it's always so hot. I can never be there and imagine actually being in the mood to eat a toasted cheese sandwich in 100-degree heat. There's just nothing about that that doesn't. I tell you what, the best toasted cheese sandwich that I've ever had at Walt Disney World is during the Festival of the Arts at Epcot. Festival of the Arts at Epcot, they have a toasted pimento cheese with bacon and fried green tomatoes. And oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. It comes with little can of tomato soup. Oh my gosh. And sometimes in the winter it does get into the low, like the high 50s will be like the high for the day. And on a day like that, it hits the spot so well. So yes, so good. They filmed the musical Newsies at the MGM Studios back in the day. To my knowledge, the entire movie was filmed there. They probably, I mean, the actual MGM Studios in California, there's a lot of things that were filmed there. But the MGM Grand in Las Vegas was the Las Vegas hotel. So let's get to the main topic here, the main story, if you will. And that is a story that is here for my good friends at thatparkplace.com. Disneyland rumored to remove major moment from the Haunted Mansion to make it more PC. Oh boy. So this is when so there's a group at Disney now called Stories Matter. And here's the funny thing. Basically, the group is misnamed. It's a misnomer for the group because it's all about pushing an agenda. It has nothing to do with the quality of stories and how stories hit normal people. It has to do with pushing a very, 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 very far leftist, extremist agenda. And so in order to push that agenda, they're trying to change things in the park. There literally is a group of people that were hired to go around and find things that they, as particularly extremist far leftist, might feel potentially offended by. Oh my goodness gracious me. And the funny thing is, what they don't seem to realize is that the more they take out, the more normal people, like the vast majority of Disney's population of customers, of patrons, of guests, will actually be offended by when they take these things out. So I don't know why they do that, but there it is. This is by Marvin, the Movie Monster, a good buddy of mine, written on the 13th of July, 2024. And he writes, the Haunted Mansion is one of the premier attractions in any Disney park, from versions of the iconic ride in both Disneyland and Walt Disney World to attractions like Phantom Manor in Disneyland Paris, Mystic Manor in Hong Kong Disneyland, and the Haunted Mansion is a huge part of most vacations. And this photograph is from the Haunted Mansion of the Magic Kingdom via the Disney Parks website. That's why major changes to the attraction's story and overall presentation are often over-examined by the fan base and media. Disneyland's Haunted Mansion, the original incarnation of the attraction, is currently undergoing a massive refurbishment that began back in January of 2024. When the attraction opens again later this year, it will be for its annual Haunted Mansion holiday overlay with Nightmare Before Christmas characters injected into the mansion's various scenes. But when it resumes standard operations in 2025, rumors are flying that it will come back without one iconic moment. This rumor was first reported by WDW News Today. Let's see. And there's a photo of the Haunted Mansion in the Magic Kingdom. So the stretching room is a hugely popular moment. So if you've ever been in the Haunted Mansion, you know that you once you get in the door, you're shuffled into a room that stretches. And the ghost host always says, "Is this room actually stretching?" you'll notice a quieting metamorphosis. Yes, so it's a very interesting part. It's fun. It's those paintings are revealed to have oddities in the paintings. It's a lot of fun. The stretching room is hugely popular moment with guests infuriatingly in both instances speaking along with the ghost host. Yeah, I do that. The narrator as the room around them stretches to reveal ghastly portraits. I want to hear the ghost host say it, not you. Well, too bad. You'll probably hear me say it. Disneyland version of this room is actually an elevator that transports guests down one level to access the ride. But a major moment from this epic pre-show might not return, and that is the hanging corpse that swings from a noose overhead may be permanently covered in response to internal concerns over sensitivity issues regarding something that we don't say here on the Tubes of the U, but it is written. You can read it there. But it involves how people become a ghost in the first place. Let's just say it that way. We've seen Disney go to great lengths to purge the parks of perceived, quote unquote, problematic elements in the past, and it's usually not met with a lot of enthusiasm from fans. Most notably, Splash Mountain was closed and replaced with Tiana's Bayou Adventure in response to supposed elements found within the ride that were disquieting to some people, supposedly, but no one that I've ever heard from. Pirates of the Caribbean's iconic auction scene was also changed to accommodate modern sensibilities and inject a female pirate into the mix. The Country Bear Jamboree is reopening. That's today. I'm actually going to go check it out. With a whole new show after a long-running animatronic presentation was altered with Disney IP music to replace songs many decried as offensive. So these include All the Men Who Turned Me On, Turned Me Down, Blood on a Saddle, and Mama Don't Whoop Little Buford. Many of these changes were internal decisions and did not seem to be based on any actual guest feedback. So, yeah, so there we are. Wow, it's so funny to me. Why? Like they literally have a group of people out there. And by the way, if you're coming into the stream and you're watching it now, maybe you're on the replay, make sure you hit that like button, leave us a like. Really, we want to help get this out to as many people as possible. And also, of course, we like to get as many people as possible shuffled over to culture right after the show. And I see the super chat up there. I'll get to that in just a moment. So thank you so much for that. But man, what are they doing? What are they like? Here's my biggest issue with all of that. Okay, fine. If you're going to do that, you cannot be hypocritical, Disney. You can't start injecting other things into your parks that the majority of people find offensive. You cannot. There is the adult private situationization of children that happens in the parks. I'm trying to say that the nicest way that I possibly can. Let's just say that it involves a lot of rainbow iconography, if you will. That does not belong in any Disney park where children are going to be there, because that is somebody injecting their politics, political feelings, their leanings into a place where everyone is supposed to be welcome. And it makes a large group of people uncomfortable and feel very, very unwelcome at the Disney parks. I know there are certain things that I have seen personally that make me feel incredibly unwelcome at the Disney parks. I do not feel invited. I feel kicked out. I'm not kicked out. Fortunately, that's never happened. But man, it's still not pervasive when you go to Disney World. It's not everywhere. And actually, it's kind of because most of Disney still seems like Disney. So when you see something that looks different, it just pops out at you like a sore thumb. So you see, for example, you might see a biological male wearing a female outfit, and it's kind of shocking and off-putting when you really notice it. And you're like, how did that work? How did that work its way in when there's a whole group of sensitivity people trying to remove stuff that might be offensive when they're literally replacing stuff that offended nobody with stuff that does in fact offend the majority of guests, like myself, traditional people with traditional families. It is unbelievable. We live in a day and age where I've commented like that in Disney groups or commented on X, and they're like, what is traditional? I'm like, normal dad, mom, children. I mean, like, if you really don't know what traditional is, oh my gosh. Woohoo! Hey, 13 watching live. 80s Man says that's a record. Speaking of chats, let's start getting to your guys' chats in the comments about your thoughts about this whole issue of replacement and all this stuff. Excuse me. So we have a super chat. Let's play a little celebration for super chat.
Too much? Too much. It's a birthday.
Oh, this is just the best of us see. I love that. That's so fun. Little Pee Wee Herman can't hurt anybody. I bet he'd be super offensive to those stories matter people today. Go and Shogi for $4.99. Thank you so much, Go and Shogi, for your generosity. I appreciate that more than you could ever possibly know. There is a way to change Haunted Mansion without ruining it. Problem is, we all know that instead of doing right, they'll do it cheap. They have to care first. That is absolutely 100% true. And I'm telling you, the Haunted Mansion is detailed. I have had it. The Haunted Mansion is one of my favorite rides because as a kid, I always loved Halloween and dressing up and going trick-or-treating. And the whole point of Halloween is not to celebrate evil as some people think it is. It's to make fun of evil. It's to say, evil, you don't have a place. We're going to mock you. So that's like, that's kind of the fun of the Haunted Mansion. It just mocks all the scary stuff, right? It's fun. The whole point of it is to have fun. It's mocking the stuff. It's saying that, yes, we know death is serious. We're not going to take it serious. We're going to make fun of it. It's going to be funny. And that's what I always liked about the Haunted Mansion. And I've had the opportunity to walk through the entire Haunted Mansion on a private tour. And it was one of the best experiences of my life. It's one of the things that I will be talking about in my upcoming series. Make sure you tune into the channel for that, because I will be talking about my cast member life when I was a cast member. Most things good, actually, believe it or not. But the things that were bad enough that here I am, not a cast member anymore. So, but it's not the early years and not most of the experiences, but as we started rolling into the 2020s and we came back from COVID and all that kind of stuff, things changed a lot at Disney and changed a lot for cast members and such. So, but we will get into that, not on a Daily Dish episode. My intention is there will probably be members only versions of those videos, and then also public videos of that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm working on it, Erica. As a matter of fact, I might have a private chat with you sometime about what I can and can't or should and shouldn't share when it comes to that stuff. And there's been several times I've sat here in front of the camera and tried to start, and it's been really, really hard. So I got to figure it out how to do it. It's much easier to just go into the parks and do a vlog and then put that stuff together. So, but it is happening. But let's check out some of your other chats. As a matter of fact, let's go to member chats first. So I'm going to kind of scroll back a little bit. to see where we're. We're going back a ways here. Okay, so we're going back to a little bit about the food discussion. Simple but creative food, not rocket science. Waste of an iconic backdrop. Yes. We want the redhead. That's probably talking about Erica or. And all right, so let's look here. Thanks, Eric and Raph. Manny Uncanny's in the house. Morning, Ron Bradley. That would be me. RB. I used to be called RE because my middle initials E. Yeah, so going Shogi funny, but seems like most interesting food at Disney is not at the parks, at the resorts. I can verify that as absolutely 100%, 1,000% true. There's way better food at the resorts than you'll ever find in any of the parks. As a matter of fact, there's an Italian restaurant called Il Mulino at the Swan, and it's fantastic. Not owned by Disney, though, by the way. Equus Hart is in the house and says, good morning. Good morning to you, Equus Hart. And Manny Uncanny says that. And Erica and Raph. The resorts have always had better quality food. We mostly eat in the resorts versus the parks. This was advised by a family member who worked with the execs over at Food and Beverage. That is, yes, absolutely true. As a matter of fact, the people that talk about Le Cellier as a great steakhouse, I've only had one experience at Le Cellier. It was absolutely horrible. The steak was bad. The soup was bad. Everything was bad. Service was awful at Le Cellier when I went there. This was 2019. And so I haven't been back since. It was that bad of an experience because there's so many other restaurants to experience. I'd much rather go there. If they had done it soon after Robin Williams, it would make more sense. I hate the DEI junk and their definitions of sensitivity, but I got to say this isn't terrible. Yeah, it's probably not terrible, but what I've heard is that they're throwing a drop cloth over it and instead of taking out the scene or changing the scene. So that's the issue here. When they do it, it'll be on the cheap. Yes, and Echo's Heart says, but the jump scare is the best part. And by the way, you have to change all of the lines unless you're going to do something with the scene, because the lines that the ghost host says at that part is, notice that this chamber has no window and no doors, which leaves you with this chilling challenge to find a way out. And then he laughs, There's always my way. And then you hear the scream, and then you see the scene. And it's the thing of it is, kids, I don't think even notice it because you'd have to look up to see it. And there's a quick strobe on it, and then it's gone. It's literally like 3 seconds is all you ever see that. Orange Cone Vlog is in the house. Hey, Orange Cone. Good to see you here. And yes, the parks are bad at picking their poison. That is for sure. So you've got bad choice. Only one without a new look. Hello, Orange Coon Vlog. Let's see what other comments we have. All right, so Tiffin's. Eric and Raph, Tiffin's breaks the mold for sure. One of the best meals I've ever eaten in my life. That is true. Tiffin's is up there as one of the best restaurants in the parks. I have several friends that work at Tiffin's, and we'll be happy to serve you if you go there. I also like the Skipper Canteen Jungle Cruise. It's got a much longer name. Everybody calls it Skipper Canteen. That's at the Magic Kingdom. To me, that is the best sit-down restaurant at the Magic Kingdom. From Cinderella to Cinderello. Yeah, I have experienced that exact same thing, and it's not fun. You don't want to really explain it to your child when a supposedly young lady comes up to help you and she says, "Hi, how can I help you? My name's Dee Dee." You're like, okay. 80s man. Ha! 13 watching live. That's a record. Ha! Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. We want to get these numbers up to 20, up to 30, up to 40, up to 50. So keep watching, keep hanging out with me every day. I love Ed Grimley. Oh, this is the best tip I see. I love Ed Grimley too. Big fan. My concern is the narrator and the stretching room. It's such an iconic start to the story. Exactly. That's what I was saying there. It's not going to make sense if they have to change all of that. Anna Greco with the gondola. Yeah. Man, I tell you what. Here it is. More prevalent in Disneyland, rainbows everywhere. All right. Seems Disney is declaring war on families. Exactly. I mean, why? Your main customer base is not the base that you want to declare war on. I don't think that's a good financial. They're trying to indoctrinate people. I know this because I have worked there and I know the cast members. There are a few cast members that have that ideology. Probably a lot more in California than here. I can't say because I'm not out there, but in Florida, let me tell you one of the biggest reasons I had to leave. Everybody that has any type of family traditional values is scared to talk about that at work. Scared about talking about those values, and it's like walking on eggshells with that, because you have people that will say, "Oh, what's wrong with teaching your kids about this?" And I'm like, because it involves adult behavior that's private, that should remain private in their bedrooms. That is why. That behavior should not be talked about among kids at any age. Remind me of the end of The Replacements when the coach tells the reporter, heart. You got to have heart. Yes. Well, they're taking the heart out of the parks. That is for sure. We're about to end this. To piggyback off my earlier comment about Robin Williams, I don't think this is one of Disney's more terrible decisions. I always thought this was insensitive, just my opinion. No, I totally get that. But the idea is that they're making fun. You know, that's the whole point, is to not take this seriously. I believe it was Red Buttons was the comedian that says this. He says comedy is tragedy plus distance. Okay. Comedy is tragedy plus distance. So that's kind of what they're doing with the Haunted Mansion. It's supposed to be comedic. It's supposed to be funny because you're distancing yourself from the reality of what they're actually talking about by kind of making fun of it. Let's see. And there's a couple more. I should be narrating audiobooks in my character voice. I don't. Perhaps that will be a thing. I'll see what WDW Pro wants to do, especially on. I do have a song that is streaming because I actually am a country singer as well. I have a song that is streaming on the Vacation Music channel. I will link it, or if any of my mods are in here and want to link the Vacation Music channel from WDW Pro in the chat, you can link that there, but I will link it in the description of this video after I'm off here. But what else we got? We got Fantasy Springs. Who else started quoting along with them? Admit it, you did. Yes, I'm sure we had people do that. We had Fantasy Springs charging separate for each of the rides. That makes sense. Tried Topolino's Terrace. Topolino's Terrace for breakfast was phenomenal. We had a great time. As a matter of fact, Anna, go back, check my Disney vlogs. One of the earlier ones, you can see a very short video of my Topolino's Terrace breakfast. Go check that video out. It's not super long. It's maybe 5 minutes long, but it shows the characters. It shows the breakfast. We had a phenomenal time. I go over some of the food that we had there. That was amazing. Like I said, Disney's not all bad. I mean, I'm a Disney fan. I'm holding out hope that a lot of this bad stuff maybe will change when leadership changes. That's what I'm hoping for. Going Shogi says, I've always been what people would classify as loud, so I have no problem calling things out. Oh my gosh. What is this? You missed Disney's slogan. Uh-oh, which slogan? Which slogan did I miss? Well, it used to be the Disney difference. Yes, I want Disney to be amazing again. And what I want, yes, these are all good points. Yeah, I tell you what, this one, Disney did that in response to the parental rights law. That is true, and it was full steam ahead. There was a lot more than that going on in the background even before that. That's just when it became really, really, really public. But before we leave, let's go back to the super chat. Going Shogi, just because I want to do a celebration again.
Too much? Too much? It's the perfect!
Oh, this is just the best of us see. Good morning to my beautiful wife, Virginia. And Manny Uncanny says, good morning, Virginia. And yes, it is disappointing that the food inside the castle supposedly is disappointing. It has to do with how they have to get it out. Oh, you're welcome, music. Yes, I love it. We had a celebration because we had Go and Shogi had the super chat there. We have celebrated and we have mourned, if you will, mourned because now people are not. It's not the invitation to add one more to the Haunted Mansion. It is that people are DEIing at the Haunted Mansion. So, and Anna Greco says, "Hola, Senora Bradley, Senorita, Senora." Such a letdown. Yeah, I know. I don't know what we're doing for tomorrow's show. There is a sensitive topic that I've been considering covering with more reveals about the James O'Keefe tapes. But I'm going to try to find something more fun for you guys. I like to have fun. Plus, I cover all that other stuff when I'm a guest on WDW Pro. Yesterday it was Pro, and then T3PO, and sometimes it's That Park Place or Lorraine Creole. But right now, out of all those guys, we're going to send you right over to Culture Casino. Make sure before you leave, hit the like button on this stream. If you're watching this on the replay, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Check that you're still subscribed to the channel, because I've had issues lately where I've seen people are not subscribed, but they thought they were subscribed. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Click that notifications bell, because when you click it, you stick it to the YouTube algorithm and you get notified of all of our uploads here at Follow the Bradley's Fun. On that note, we are going to send everybody over to Culture Casino. And thank you so much for coming in. We will see you real soon. Bye, everybody. Ciao.